problem, bro. No problem. I had to throw that in there. I'm like,
yeah. No, hilarious. I love it, man.
Bro, you had me crying, bro, when I sent you.
When I saw that shit, I said, I already know what you're gonna say, bro. I said, I already know.
Oh, that shit look fire.
I said, like, bro, this dude probably like, oh, I can't. I wish I could see this shit now. Like, this is great. I shook my head as soon as.
This is Cornbread's review. Hey, this is Cornbread's review. This is Cornbread's review. Talk about the hottest movies, old and new. Cinema breakdown, grasping the truth. No acting, I leave that for the cast and the crew. The capture the cool, not theatrical goose. So you better be direct or you have to produce something to break in like last minute news and keep quiet when the real boy Matt and they rules. Woo.
Yo, welcome back for another episode of Cornbread Movie Review. I tried to tell y'all I needed my man back for this episode. He brought up this movie last year. He talked about it. He hit me up in January. Hey, I need to be on this review. And so today we have my man Fame back in the building. What's up, bro?
What's going on, y'all? What's going on? Fame back with more little things in life that you love to talk about. Shout out to Cornbread. Shout out to the hat you wearing too. I'm like, bro,
hey, I got my son's bucket hat because I'm ready for war today, bro.
Well, you caught me. You caught me because this is a horror movie, and you said I only do horror movies with you. So I'm like, I know. I got nothing.
I figured out your tale. You only want to come over here on horror movies, man.
I've proven you wrong twice now. I've proven you wrong twice.
Well, what am I like? I'm like 4 for 6. So I'll take those odds. Yeah,
well, Thor was kind of a horror movie, but yeah, we'll digress. I'm sorry, we'll digress.
No, once again, man, we appreciate you on here. Make sure y'all like and subscribe to the channel, Cornbread Movie Review, and also follow me, Cornbread 1016. Fame, how can people follow you, man?
Yeah, man. You can follow us on Rich Dreamcast on YouTube. You can also find us on Rich Dreamcast on Instagram. And if you were looking for me, just want to watch me build some gunpla, watch me build some models, and just talk about that, or just watch some of the reels, you can follow me at Uncle_B3N_90. So it's Uncle Ben 90, but Uncle_B3N_90 on Instagram.
Make sure y'all follow my man, bro. You're doing some big things. So today, ladies and gentlemen, the highly anticipated movie review. I felt like Red in The Temptations when he was like, my office hours are from 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. Hey, Tonio, hey, Cornbread, hey, what you feel about Nope? My review comes out next week. Hey, I hear you, but what you think about Nope? Let's talk. My review comes out next week.
Hey, get people over balconies.
Bro, like, come on, man. So today we're here to talk about it. If you're the first time seeing a Cornbread movie review, understand we break down movies in 5 different categories, right? We don't just give our opinion and that's it. No, we got to break this thing down because we got to prove what we're saying, right? If we're going to give our opinion. So understand I do it in 5 different categories: acting, cinematography, storytelling. Did I get what I bought? And then is it a must see? We add it all up. It spits out a Cornbread movie review. And then we ain't going to leave y'all with a forgotten segment. All right. So Fame, you ready, baby?
Let's do it. Let's get to it.
So first category is acting. Okay. I want to give a shout out to Jordan Peele first off, before we even get started, man. This is his 4th installment of movie. What is it? Monkey Paw Productions. He did obviously Get Out, Us, Candyman, and now he has Nope. So I just want to give support when I can. We shit on movies, we big up movies, but I think for him, I'm very proud for him, and I'm gonna support him to the end of time. Good or bad movie, I'm still gonna support you. All right. Also in this movie, man, Daniel Kaluuya, man, come on. He speaks for himself in acting. Now, in this movie, he plays a non-sociable person, somebody who really lost. We're going to get into, obviously, well, spoiler alert. First off, stop playing, bro. Spoilers, man. Spoilers. He, lost his father. So he's playing somebody who's trying to keep afloat his business, right? So he ain't about no playing games. He's all about that business boss. Now, and then I'll get into his acting. Then also in this movie is Keke Palmer. She plays the energetic little sister, man. She got all the energy, all the confidence in the world, and I love that about her. Anybody else you want to shout out before we get into how they're acting and everything?
Yeah, man, outside of those two, because I feel like we're really gonna dive into them. I would have to say Stephen Yeun's character. I always loved him on The Walking Dead, and so getting to see him outside of that and getting to see him in a big feature-length movie is fantastic. Outside of that, I haven't seen this guy in a lot of movies. He played Angel Brandon Pereas, I think that's his name.
Okay.
I loved him. I loved him. He was the tech guy. He definitely made me laugh. He brought that kind of comedic aspect to the movie that I just didn't expect. So I really loved. He was actually one of my favorite characters. Because he was actually one of my favorite characters. I loved Angel, so he was awesome. But yeah, go for it,
man. So what, especially with Daniel Kaluuya, man. You know, this man has been in Sicario. First off, you don't get noticed. You in Sicario, you in my heart, bro. That's a forgotten movie. That's one of my movies. You just got an award for Judas and the Black Messiah. You did the single tear in Get Out, which is impossible to do. This movie, you did not act at all. You were just a body riding a horse. I was highly disappointed in his acting role. I think Keke Palmer did a great job. You know, I think this was more of her. She was the co-star. You know, she's always a co-star in some. She doesn't lead any movies, right? But I think she stepped up to the plate of, I need to step up my game, because I'm damn near every scene. She wasn't even in any scenes by herself until the very end. You know, she was always with someone. So I think she stepped up and did her job. Like you said, the other characters, they had little cameos, their little, 10 to 15 minutes of fame. I think they did a solid job. But I think Daniel Kaluuya's part, I don't think it was written for him to knock those other acting jobs out the park. And I think we missed that part where you have Denzel Washington, you just got to let him go sometimes. You know, there wasn't much dialogue and everything like that. So in this category, I was highly disappointed. To me, this is an average acting. It feels like I could have put anybody in this role and they could have almost did the same job. So the category for me, unfortunately, was 3.5 out of 5. Fame, talk to me about acting, man.
Okay, so I'm gonna kind of play off a little bit, but kind of go in the opposite direction. So with Daniel Kaluuya's OJ, I thought that OJ he was brooding. He was brooding the entire movie. He's brooding. He's kind of a one note, kind of just a chill guy. And so I think that him by himself, if it was just him as the main character and we saw most of him throughout the movie, I think it would have been a problem. I think where it works is that he plays off of Keke Palmer's character so well. I think he plays off of her so well because where she's high, he's low. Right. And so they both are able to meet each other in the middle perfectly. And I think that you could tell even when he's trying to go over and get everybody's attention and talk about the horse, nobody's really paying attention. And then his sister comes in, she's a ball of energy. Mm-hmm. And so that was purposely done. He was not supposed to carry the movie like he could have done in Get Out. He was supposed to be that brooding kind of like, I don't even want to call him a jerk. He was just him. Like, that's just him. He's antisocial. The only person that understood him was his dad. And so I thought that was fantastic, that's how his character, I felt like his character already hit his peak before the movie even started. The movie's not about him per se. To me, the movie's about Lucky. To me, the movie's about M. To me, the movie's about Jean Jacket. That's what the movie's about. It just happens to feature Daniel Kaluuya. Mm-hmm. So if anything, I respected where he stood at, because like I said, it was never meant for him to take the reins and be the main character and do all this stuff. That's why at the end you see him do this, and you saw what happens at the end. But man, hats off to Keke Palmer. Yeah, whew, you talking about acting? Oh my God. I'll say this: those two combined acted exactly how Black people would act in a horror movie. During certain parts, when the part where he opens the door, he looks up. Nope. Perfect. I was like, yes, you hit it. I needed that moment. I was like, are we gonna have that moment in the movie where it's like, I'm gonna say no? I did. I was like, yes. So for me, 4 out of 5. 4 out of 5. 4 out of 5. Absolutely.
Much respect. And I totally agree that Keke Palmer carried this. And I think
Oh.
that's where I gave the movie a lower rating because I didn't expect that. Because this actor is a monster, bro. Kalu is on the come up, man. So I need you to step up your game in every movie that you do. So that's why I gave it the rating. But I agree with everything that you said, man. So 4 and then 3.5 out of 5. Next category, cinematography. Now, this movie was his highest budgeted movie available to him, 68 million. You know, Get Out was damn near like 4 million or something crazy, you know. So shouts out to him. And this movie was 2 hours and about 5 minutes, right? So this wasn't, you know, I went to the like it was 9 or 10 o'clock. So you felt it like, dang, bro, this movie's still going. It's almost midnight. Like, dang, where we headed with this? But the downfalls of the cinematography that I felt, usually their movies have great soundtracks. I really didn't get the soundtrack love in this movie. I think that's where they what'd you say?
I thought about that too.
Yeah, I think that's where they dropped the ball a little bit, especially like with Candyman soundtrack, everything was perfect. And when you plan certain scenes, like it was beautiful. This movie was shot in an IMAX camera, right? So I think for me, they wanted to get really up close and then, you know, so you guys feel like you guys are in the tornado that's going on or the aliens coming to you, and we'll get into all those things. So it looked like they focused on that, but the overall, let's say they focused on the tree, but not the forest. That's how I felt in cinematography. So what I mean by that is this was shot damn near in one location, right? And that was Aquitas, California, somewhere.
I can't even say, man.
Somewhere in the middle of nowhere. They got a farm and a fair and different things like that. So I think they didn't for the movie it worked, but for me, judging it on movies across Cornbread Movie Review is taking hits because it's filmed in one location. I would say other things aren't consistent, but I'll get into that after I let you speak a little bit about cinematography. How you feel, sir?
Sure. So I'm kind of the same as you in regards to I think the location. I don't want to say it hurt it because I kind of figured it was going to take place mostly in like the mountain, kind of like desert area,
right?
Camp type areas. So
yep.
It's hard to bring to life a movie when it's all just in like kind of a Western type feel, but it's not a Western movie, right? Especially when making a horror movie on top of that. I think the best horror movie I've seen that can be that length is It Chapters 1 and 2. Not many movies can go the 2-hour distance and be a horror movie on top of that and be able to just stand the test of time to be able to keep everybody's attention. I think where this movie really shined at is the scenes at night, especially when you get to see the creature move at night. You get to see the clouds and the lighting and stuff. And when the creature takes action, I think that's another time when you get to see the cinematography at its best. But I appreciated all the nighttime scenes because it really did kind of creep me out, like some of the nighttime scenes that there were, especially part of the big reveal and when the creature actually acted and did something pretty badass. I was like, holy crap. So I appreciate it at night. During the daytime, I totally, I don't know, there was a lot to be desired, and that's where the acting really needed to take place in order to really grab my attention. So like, I think about like how we were talking about Marvel the other week, and it's like how Thor was full of colors and all this other stuff. This movie didn't have a lot of colors like that. It was very dry, and so you just had to really sit in and get ready and just hope for the best. And so, like I said, I feel like it did deliver, but I do understand where you're coming from at the same time.
And that's funny you said that because I felt the opposite of the night and the day. I actually gave them more points because not a lot of horror movies happen in the day. You know, if you look at like Chainsaw Massacre, that will happen in the day, maybe Jeepers Creepers, different things like that. But this gave you night and day. And I appreciated that a little bit more of because I was like, okay, yeah, they're not trying to hide behind it's dark in the theaters and I can scare you easy with a sound or something like that, or somebody coming out of the corner. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, I'm gonna try to show you they're scared in the day, but they're trying to do more investigative stuff. So I just gave it a little bit of points during the day too. One thing, like I said, a couple things are inconsistent for me. Lucky is the luckiest horse ever. I don't understand how you got a tornado, my guy. The tornado was so inconsistent. You had one time where the tornado damn near picked up the whole damn house, boy.
Audience, I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna get him in the next.
Please.
I'm gonna get you.
Hey, that's why we on here, to speak the truth, baby. And then now you have a tornado is damn near right above this horse like this, yeah. And the horse is chugging along. Like, come on, bro. So it was a couple inconsistencies that I did not like. But once again, I think I gave it some points for, like I said, in the daytime and everything else. So cinematography is going to get a 3.5 out of 5 for me as well. They didn't change the aspect of how you film. It's just kind of like another movie that I saw. It wasn't anything specific that they did where I'm like, okay, that's it. That's innovative. That's creative in cinematography. Fame, what do you rate cinematography?
I am going to backtrack a little bit because I thought it was pretty cool with the whole cloud not moving and people had to really use it. That was pretty dope. That was pretty dope, but it was kind of creepy too. Because it's like once you really actually see it, I think what makes it creepy is when you see it for yourself before they say it. Mm-hmm. Whenever stuff like that happens in scary movies, it gives me a chill. So I thought that was a pretty dope aspect. It's like that cloud's not moving. Like that's pretty dope. But I'm actually gonna give it 3.5 out of 5.
Appreciate that, man. Next category is storytelling. Now we can get into all the mashed potatoes. Hey, let's get it. I'll break down just a little bit of the premise, and then I'll let you go first in this category. All right. So to the viewers out there, if you haven't seen it, obviously this is a movie where, like I said, Daniel Kaluuya and his father, they own a ranch, right? The father passes away. Now Daniel Kaluuya is basically in the hole. He's trying to figure out ways to make money for this ranch, bro. Like we need to sell horses to sustain this house because I didn't work for this. This is my dad's. When the father passes away, you got Keke Palmer coming. She's the little sister. She's there for moral support and to help the farm thrive. All right. When they come together, they kind of see, well, it's strange how their father dies, right? Like how did he die? They saying some other shit, but I don't believe it. That's when they come encounter with, the UFO. We'll go with UFO at first because that's what they thought it was, right?
Yeah.
This movie's also, it feels it's in chapters. To me, it feels like chapters or segments. It even had two or three intro scenes, which I liked. That was part of cinematography, right? That was another thing that I forgot. They had a couple intro scenes, but that's the premise of the movie. But Fame, I'll let you go and speak on whatever you want to, man. You my guest, man.
Sure. So I think this movie at the end of the day is definitely about growth, and it's about understanding that there's things that we cannot control that we still try to control, namely nature. Nature is one of those things that we have to learn how to respect. And I think that you got that throughout the movie. You mentioned Lucky. Let me tell you something. Lucky was one of the main characters of the movie. Lucky was mentioned. Lucky was the horse that was in the studio. They said, don't look him in the eyes. Lucky was also the horse that his dad mentioned when he said, Lucky thinks he's doing something, blah, 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 blah. And Lucky was the horse that was sold, but when they tried to make him come out, he wouldn't do it. There's certain things that you can't play with. You can't play with things that we were never designed to conquer. And so horses, you have to respect what they are and what they represent. And so I don't know if you realize this, all the horses died except the black horse, by the way. Don't know if you realize that. Jordan Peele likes to do this
all the time. He does it all the time.
But shout out to Twin Mac, because Twin Mac put me on that. So I gotta give it to him.
Kyle, shout out to him.
Shout out to Twin Mac. But aside from that, I felt like Lucky, M, and Jean Jacket all mirrored each other so well, because where you had Otis or OJ who wanted M to, be a part of the family and help out with the ranch and do all this stuff, she wasn't that type of person. You could not contain M. That's why she had so many things that she was doing. That was her. She was never meant to be held down. Same thing with Jean Jacket. Jean Jacket was never meant to be tamed. That's why you saw the way it reacted and did what it did. These are all things that were never meant to be controlled. And so I think that there's many times that we try to control things that we cannot. And so that's why I love that you got to see that through the lens of so many different characters. And then even the characters that seemed minor still had a big part to play, like Jude. Like I thought that the whole flashback scene with the monkey and just seeing how he thought that that moment that he had with Gordy meant that he was destined to be able to control other things. It's like, no, that means you're supposed to respect nature, if anything. You can't have a ape on set and think it's not going to, bro, you know how powerful apes are? So, yeah, man. So I thought that the story, it's very metaphor heavy. It's very biblical heavy. There's just a lot of different undertones that's found with this movie. And Jordan Peele, he excels when it comes to that. And that's one thing I will always give him when it comes to like, okay, what's the deeper meaning we're about to get here? Like, he's fantastic at that. This is something I don't want to go too far, but yeah, this is something I would definitely like to rewatch again, just to pick apart. But yeah, man, I was like in a whole other world when I'm watching this movie. I can't never watch a movie just to watch it.
I totally agree. I'll take bits and pieces of what you just said and just fill them in from my perspective. So let's go with the Gordy, Gordy 1998. Like you said, respect the animals. You're having a full birthday party for this monkey, right? And y'all playing, doing cut scenes. Oh, I messed up my lines. All right, go again. Nobody's really there to protect the monkey. They're more for entertainment, right? And then when he went off, but he snapped and said, okay, you're my friend because you ain't trying to control me, right? And then obviously we seen what happened to him. So I really like how that part played into, like you said, somebody else's trajectory of life on how they feel like maybe we were connected, or you felt like he was trying to control them. I felt like, all right, they were connected with one. So maybe he was trying to connect with the alien up there by sacrificing a horse. Maybe that's what he wants. So I'm going to give him what he wants. Remember, he was like, oh, he's kind of early today. I don't know what's going on. For the last 6 months, I've been giving him what he wants and he's been leaving us alone. So to me, I felt like he always had that connection with the higher powers. But so that was good how that played a part in storytelling. I would say a negative that I felt, though, is the weakness of the alien. I think the weakness of the alien was, let's say he was like, all right, leave me alone. This is my property. Stop wilding out. And they continue to, so I have to take over, right? I have to kill y'all, eat y'all, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. If they know that the plastic hurts the horse, right? Or he doesn't like it, right? Mm-hmm. What was the point of having the different colors on the horses and the big blimp, right? So if the blimp and everything are kind of distract him, at the end of the movie, he sniffed that goddamn thing for 10 hours. Yeah. And he still ate it, right? So it's like, so what was the point of that? I was like, so what is he doing there? You know what I'm saying? So it was a little inconsistent, which I was like, come on, we did good. It's like, now we have to like, all right, how can we defeat him? And they just made it up at that part, So I was just a little disappointed in the writing for that. So that's kind of what knocked the storytelling down for me. But overall, I think the weaving out of different stories, having them all connected. You got a little bit of Keke Palmer's storyline changing a little bit. She became way more confident. She was more giggity and laughing and not taking life serious. And at the end, she's like, okay, I got to do this on my own now. I got to try to save certain people and stop this situation. So for me, overall, the storytelling got a 4 out of 5. Like I said, I think it did a lot better than what I was going into. I think the creativity of making it a cloud, and then it's not a UFO. It became an alien, so it became its own being. It wasn't out there like Jurassic Park just running over people and biting people. No, it kind of had its own like little premise. It didn't even move. Remember, it stayed at that same spot for 6 months. So it was trying to rule over everything or just say, hey, don't wild out and I'm good with these horses and everything. So for me, storytelling, 4 out of 5. Fame. Anything else you want to add to this category?
Yeah, man. I think you really nailed that just in regards to it. I don't think it was about capturing it or killing it originally, because their whole plan, during that entire plan, you never heard anything about, all right, then we're going to kill it. Then we're going to take it down. Nope. It was about, let's get these photos.
one good shot.
Yeah, that's all we need. And then, oh boy, just went off the rails. I was like, yep, okay, I get it. But I get what it stood for. Like, I get why they chose to go that route. It's just, it did kind of feel like, all right, we're going to freestyle the end and see if we can kill it. Yeah. So I 100% agree with you on that. But otherwise, that doesn't derail the entire movie at all. Right. It doesn't take away from it. I'm right there with you. I'm giving it a 4 out of 5.
And one thing I also noticed that it was a lot of underlying tones of, we don't even need to discuss it's a UFO. We already know what we're going to do. We understand the assignment. And I count that a couple times, how they were like, call like the movie director, hey, trying to get that one shot. And he magically just knew, all right, it's a UFO. I'm going to bring this. I'm going to bring this. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that's just a common thing in that area of people saying they see UFOs. And so they just sped past that, so go ahead.
And so I was going to say, I know we're going to move on. I was going to say, you got to understand too. And I'm not talking about in the movie. In reality, there's already a lot of confirmed things with the Pentagon as far as UFOs or unidentified objects and stuff like that, especially in that California area. So that's why it's just not so far-fetched for it to be like, it's not like the movie Signs, like how Signs, Mel Gibson had to he had to like come to terms like, this is UFO. It's like now it's just not as unrealistic. It's very much realistic. So I like that it wasn't like so far-fetched that people are like, oh, you're crazy. It's like, no, it makes sense. So it worked. I thought it worked.
I agree. So what are you ready to 4 out of 5? So we're good.
4 out of 5.
All right. Next category, did I get what I bought? Now, once again, this movie's in theaters. It is rated R. All right. The movie prices, like I said, it is shot in IMAX, no 3D or anything. So you can probably get tickets from like $12 to $20, $25, depending on when you go, where you go, certain things like that. I got a couple hot takes for you, man.
Sure.
This movie was only rated R because of the language. And I was disappointed in that. You have a rated R movie where you have aliens, number one, and then you have a monkey that nobody expected going ape shit on all these people, and you don't see any of it. Even when he's eating them, it's like a tube, and you just look in the tube like, what am I looking like? It's weird. Like, and they just hear screaming. Even when the monster's throwing up all these dead bodies in blood, you don't see any of the blood. You see it in the next morning. So I was very disappointed in this. It doesn't seem like this isn't a scary movie. This isn't a horror movie. This is more of a comedy to me, honestly, or a thriller. So I kind of got pissed off with that. One thing in watching this movie, I definitely want to see it again, is I think different is great, but just because it's different doesn't mean it's great. That's kind of when I left this movie, to me, how I felt about it. Fame, what you got in this category?
You came in swinging. Okay.
I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. I'm hot. I'm hot.
Whoa. No. So I definitely did desire a bit more out of, especially with the rated R aspect. I definitely desired, it would have been nice to have a bit more action from the creature. It would have been nice to, like, I did like getting to see what happened to the people when they got sucked up. Because there was a sense of, like I said, there was a sense of like claustrophobia. I had seen what happened to them. I was like, oh God. I was like, that's a horrible way to go. Yeah. But it's like, I think the scene with the blood that you're talking about, I think as far as concept art, that probably looked amazing. Yeah. Everybody in the studio or in the room was probably like, yo, this is going to be it. It translated not as well, just because we didn't get, it was kind of hard to see because we kept bouncing between that and the people in the house. Yeah. So it was a little bit tougher to see the scenes that involve, graphic violence. It was a little tougher to see that. So I think that was just one of the main things that I was really like missing on and really wanted to see, because when I see this title of Nope, and I'm watching some of the previews, I'm like, all right, they saving the good stuff in there. But we never got that. We never got that kind of action. And the action that we did get at the end, it felt like a Western. Like I said, it felt like we're trying to wrangle in the cattle. We're trying to bring in the wild horse. It felt like that. And so I was a bit disappointed. I'm not gonna lie to you in regards to that. But once again, comparing that to the story that was being told and the undertones of the movie, that still triumphs over the level of action that I know we were expecting to see. Mm-hmm. So it's not by a huge margin, but it does still overtake it. Once again, it doesn't derail the movie. So that's just my personal opinion.
I agree. I also had in this category, the meaning. Jordan Peele always has some hidden meaning in every movie that he does. So you kind of touched on it before, but for this category, I wanted to speak on it. It was more respect these nature. Yeah. Just because something's here, even if it's an alien, okay, it's okay that they're here, right? Like respect them, Respect the horse. Remember at the very beginning, they were trying to do a TV scene, and nobody's respecting the horse. All right, the horse is kind of tired. Let's give him a break. No, we about to do these 5 scenes real quick. Hey, don't look him in the eye. Somebody look him in the eye. Hey, don't walk behind him. He about to kick the shit out you. All right, we're gonna walk behind him. Right? Yeah. The monkey. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you got loud balloons popping and all this other stuff, and y'all having birthday. Our surroundings as humans is terrible. Yes. So I think we need to understand that we're not the only ones on this planet, right? So we have to share it with other beings. So let's respect it more. So I really appreciated that. So for this category, did I get what I bought? I'm gonna say a 3.5 out of 5. Fame, talk to me.
I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. I think you just kind of covered everything that we talked about in storytelling, and that's fantastic because, like I said, we're on the same page with it. Yeah, it's just respect nature, man. Respect nature. Like seriously, I can't speak enough about the scene with Gordy and how he had certain trigger words he couldn't say, and about the hot takes, and he finally snapped. I would have definitely liked to have seen more with that scene, or even tying what happened then to what happened in the present. I think that would have really knocked us off our feet. We never really did that. So, I mean, I didn't get upset about it. It was just kind of a wishful thinking. So,
right. Agree.
Like I said, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5.
All right. Last category. Is it a must see? Now, I'm going to say, first off, this is Jordan Peele, bro. So if you've seen one of his movies, you got to see them all. It don't matter, bro. Like them or not. To me, I'm going to watch all of them. So I'm going to add that into this repertoire. I'm going to say support low budget films. That's where a lot of people have problems, bro. People are all, what'd you say?
They're some of the best movies.
Yeah. Like just because it's Spider-Man and it's got 200 million don't mean it's going to be good though. Like, come on, bro. Oh, I'm going to go see Thor. All right. Well, have you seen any other movie this year? No, I haven't. I haven't seen any other movie, but I'm just going to go see Thor because everybody else going to see it. Like, support low budget movies. 68 million is low as hell, bro. And people think, oh, it's 68 million. No, but not in the cinematography world, bro. No, it's not a lot of money. So go support that. Also, these movies are conversation starters.
Thank you.
It's hard. We're dissecting it off of one watch. I don't know. Have you seen it twice or no?
I've only seen it once.
Me too. So I'm dissecting off of once, but I would have loved to see it again and then dissect it and see if I still feel the same way. These are the type of movies that have jewels and nuggets that you can unpack for years to come. So I'm definitely going to say that. And then there's a lot of real world references in this movie. You got SNL. They said YouTube. They said CW. They said Oprah. They had all these real world references as funny, right? And then the comedic timing of this movie, flawless, man. So for me, is it a must see? I'm gonna say a 4 out of 5. Fame, talk to me, man.
I forgot about the CW reference. He said, fucking CW.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I mean, when you think about movies like this, right? So I think you really hit the nail on the head when you talk about low budget movies. And I'm thinking about low budget horror films. Get Out was not done on millions of dollars. Paranormal Activity, the first one, was not done on millions of dollars.
Classic.
These are movies that have started franchises and they were done on nickels and dimes. So it's like, I wholeheartedly agree with you, especially with Jordan Peele going up against studios like Blumhouse. Because Blumhouse, they make bangers. They make some of the best horror movies, period. So going up against them is a feat within itself, and to be able to stand on your 2 feet. So you hit that right on the head. I would say if you've seen Get Out, if you've seen Us, namely those two, you got to go see them. There's no way you can't. Now, there was somebody that said, I can't remember, there was an article, it was like, Jordan Peele is the greatest horror director of all time. I'm not going to say that, but he's good. He's good. I was like,
don't do that.
Like, I'm like, no, he's great. He's definitely great. I think when he drops another movie, and if it's like as good as this or just even a little bit better, he could creep into my top 5. He could creep into my top 5 horror movie directors, but he's not there yet. He's still getting there, but is it a movie worth seeing? I would say that if you're into horror movies, first off, yes. If you're into Jordan Peele's movies, second off, yes. If you're into westerns or supernaturals, go see it. Definitely go see it. I have to give it a 3 out of 5. Definitely give it a 3 out of 5.
I like it, man. So overall, that's the 5 categories to the viewers out there. Cornbread Movie Review gives Nope 3.5 out of 5. Check out my 2022 movies. Fame, what do you give Nope, man?
So, and one of the most rarest of rare occasions,
hey,
I gotta give it a 3.5 out of 5.
Hey,
we finally met in the middle somewhere.
Finally. We're always on the other spectrum, good or bad. Right. It don't matter. It don't matter. So that's good, man. So hopefully y'all agree, disagree. Please write in the comments what you think. And I wouldn't be me without giving y'all a forgotten movie. This is a movie that you've never seen, probably forgot about, or you need to double back and watch it, man. You know what I'm saying? We giving y'all classics. Fame, you my guest once again. Do you want to go first or you want me to go first, man?
I will go first.
Okay, so, talk to me.
In the spirit of horror movies, in the spirit of sibling love and having to get through some kind of obstacle, whether it be some type of creature or supernatural event, I decided to go with 2009's Friday the 13th. So that one stars Jared Padalecki from Supernatural, one of my favorite TV shows, and also Amanda Rigetti. So, and this one, it's a whole reboot, pretty much. Amanda Rigetti's character is abducted by Jason, and her brother is out to look for where she's at. It leads them to Camp Crystal Lake. You get a bunch of horny teens that show up there, drink, smoke, do the other, little X-rated stuff that we can't talk about on YouTube. And pretty much they end up crossing paths with Jason, and he holds no bar. He goes all the way in. And so it's great seeing Jared Padalecki really get his supernatural thing on and fight his way to trying to save his sister. It's really great seeing them work together and actually work to kind of work against Jason on 2 different ways. So right. I don't want to get too far into it, but it is a great movie. I do wish that it did kind of carry on a sequel, although it didn't. That was like during the age of reboots during that time period. Yep. Definitely a must watch. I would definitely say go see 2009's Friday the 13th.
Appreciate that, man. And my movie came out in 1997. This is a thriller. My grandmother put me on this movie. Fun fact. She said, hey, man, there's a movie out there that's like, it's wild. Like, you'll never guess what happens. And I'm like, what you talking about? At this time, I'm a teenager. Like, come on, what are you talking about? And the movie is called The Game. The Game, ladies and gentlemen, has Michael Douglas in it. The premise is this man is rich, so he has everything he wants. So somebody says, well, what do you get the richest man, anything? There's a card. He said, hey, give him this card. And it's a game, and the people behind it do some crazy stuff to him. And I don't want to give it away on what happens and everything like that. But trust me, it's a thriller. It's a must watch. And this movie is called The Game. Make sure you YouTube it, Friday the 13th. Go see Nope. Let me know if you agree, disagree. Write in the comments. Fame, how can people follow you again, man?
You guys can follow us at Ridge Streamcast on YouTube and also on Instagram as well. You can also follow me on Uncle_B3N_90. So that's Uncle Ben 90 on Instagram. Guys, also Corbin, and I was gonna say this, make sure you tune in because Halloween Ends comes out this year. I'm looking forward to it. It is Cornbread's favorite movie. I cannot wait because I'm gonna be back for that one.
I'm wearing this hat. I gotta wear the hat. This is the Cornbread cooking hat. I have to, bro. I have to.
Halloween Ends. I'm looking forward to it. Let's get it going. Yeah.
I told you he only comes for horror movies. I told y'all, man. I'm not lying, man. I told y'all. I'm like, man, you want to talk about Avatar? I hate Avatar. I hate
Avatar. Oh, garbage. And they got a sequel coming in.
All right. You want to talk about Creed 3? I hate Creed 3. I'm like, oh, shit. You want to talk about thumbnail attacks? Hell yeah. I want to talk about that. Like
every bit of it.
That's crazy, right? Hey, but we love y'all. Like and subscribe to the channel, man. And we'll be back again, man. Holla at y'all. Peace.
Take it easy.